guys, we're back at the shop again today. I've got all the rest of the gaskets down there on the floor for the sump, the remain seal retainer plate, retainer gasket. I'm going to have to cut that out of some 8mm, point of an 8mm gasket paper, and the oil pump so everything can go back on. And I've got to get the grinder and do the these bits. Oh, sorry, got to do these bits here so I can get it to fit with the head studs. And by the end of today, this should be all ready, done to just drop straight back into the car. And get the rest of this gasket off here that I thought I'd already gotten off. And I can't find the grinder. I think my mate's taking it back home. I'm going to need some sandpaper, I think, just to clean that up. I think I might need some new sandpaper. It's going to take a bit longer than I was expecting. Alright, so I've got all that cleaned up. Just going to open the gasket, throw the gasket on, pull that off. So OEM missing. Don't want to tear this gasket. Oh, not the gasket, the O-ring. There we go. I think that is all good. I'm just going to get the ratchet in, make sure that they're tight. I don't want to fully send them with the rattle gun and snap a bolt. Don't want to tighten that too much. Now it's time to get the timing gear and everything for it. Both keyways are the same. Clean them up a little bit so that they're a bit of a nicer fit. Crank a bit of a wipe. Brand new idler, a brand new belt. Using the old tension spring for there, but that'll be fine for that. That goes there. Definitely goes up. And this belt has marks. So, got time and chain on, wound it over a few times and it seems to be good. I've got that all bolted down. I just cleaned out the inside of this one. I'm about to clean the front of this up and put that on the front there, and then I've got to do the remain seal retainer plate and the sump gasket. I've still got to clean the sump up a bit, but we're getting there. This should be all together and ready to go in the car by the end of the day. I've got the harmonic balance back on and all the timing cover. I'm about to clean up the pulley for the water pump and put that on, and then probably put the accessories on. I'm going to do the remain seal retainer plate first and sump gasket, and it's nearly ready to go back in. Right, so cleaned up the alternator, got that all looking fairly nice again. I've got to take that back off so I can get the 2 bolts to go through there. and bolted on, but other than that, that's ready to go on. Then I've just got to clean the aircon up, and I think that should be clean enough. We got clean the other day, but I might give it another quick go over, and that'll be all the accessories. I got everything back on the front, all the belts are all tight and all good to go. Now I've just got to take some bits out of the rocker cover so I can get the rocker cover on, and yeah, still got the rear main seal gasket and rear main seal and the sump gasket to go. But I think engine loves to bounce on this, just the littlest bit of movement, and it likes to wobble like this, so try and get it off this as soon as possible. But yeah, we're about to cut some of that out with the angle grinder. I got the bolts out of the back of that for tomorrow. I've got to clean up the metal shavings, in the alloy shavings in the rocker cover, and clean that up a bit. But when I was grinding the tabs down on the rocker cover, I had to grind them down, and it fits now. I've just got to clean out all the alloy that was in it so it doesn't go through my motor, and then I've just got to put it on the top, do the sump gasket, do the rear main, and that is the engine ready to go back into the car. Alright guys, so another day back at the shed again, and I'm going to finish off the motor for good this time. I've got to get under the VL and pull the trans pan off it so that I can see what filter kit it needs, and pull the tank out and take it over to the radiator shop to get them to clean it out, however they do that. But here she is again. Still got to clean up the gasket that's on here. So I still got to get some of that gasket and that off, because I've got a actual proper one there, and get that rear main plate, rear plate off, and it'll be nearly done. But we'll get into it and show you as we go along. I got the rear main retainer plate out. I just gotta clean it up and make a gasket for it, and then I might even just use goo. I don't know yet. I'll figure something out for it. Got all the surface cleaned up. About to put the gasket on. Got the rear main plate, retainer plate all cleaned up, and a new seal on it. Still got to clean the rocker cover gasket, or the rocker cover, because that's still got alloy shavings in it. But just about to put it all together and finish off the engine. Putting the gasket on, as you can see, it's poking out the side there. Just gonna stick all the little nuts on it, or all the little bolts, and get this thing tightened down, and then they're one step closer. Sump's all on, all the little nuts and, well, all the little bolts are in it. It's all sealed up. Just putting the rocker cover on now after cleaning it out, and that will be the engine done and ready to put in the car. But I'm about to go out here. I'm going to jack the rear end of this up, pull the fuel tank out of it, drain it, and then take it to radiator place and get them to clean the tank out for me, and possibly blow the lines out, put the new fuel filter in there. And I'll probably end up gurning the engine bay again, getting it all nice and clean for when the engine goes back in, and pull the bottom of the transmission off to see what filter kit I need. I'm under here at the moment. Got to pull the feed line off, the return, undo the plugs, and drop the tank out. And I'm thinking of pulling the high pressure pump out, just because I'm not really using it. I'm going to sticky tape up these wires back up to here, because they just come off that. It's fucking, yeah. But yeah, we'll get this tank out. Tank's out, it's been cleaned. Pulled the pump out of it. I'm gonna price a new one, because this one's a bit corroded and shit. But I'm about to call up the radiator place and see if they're gonna be able to clean that out for me. And then I've got to go under and pull the pump out, the high pressure pump, out from underneath it and sticky tape up the wire. After that I've got to start pulling the control arms and everything out so I can do the bushings for the rear and the front. I'm about to pull the rear end out of it so I can sort out what bushes I need to get pressed, which ones I can just push in. For the life of me can't get that handbrake cable out of the back of there, so the handbrake's going to have to come out with it. But the only problem with that is, from that flange all the way to the back is all welded as one piece, so I may have to undo it from here to get this bit of cable here off and over that bit to get the handbrake out. But yeah, I just don't know right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure something out. But the whole rear end's coming out today so it can get bushes done. I'm about to crack the oil pan on the transmission. Those bolts up in there were a pain to do, but I don't want to have to drop the transmission to do that. But when I pull the rear end out, I'm going to have to pull the tail shaft out with the rear end because I can't undo the bolts down at the back. And from those bolts onto the cat are completely rusted on there, so they do not even want to come off with a rattle gun. So the exhaust is going to have to come out with the diff as well, and the handbrake cable, so there's going to be pretty much nothing left under this car except for the transmission by the end of the day. So let's see if we can't set this up to look at the oil when it comes out. Oh shit. Not good, not good. Oh, a bit of fucking oil. Here goes more oil. Oh, far out. Had a feeling that was going to happen. I've started pulling that one off, I've undone this one. I'm going to leave the bottom ones done up for now. Going to go onto the other side, undo that one and the shock mount and the pan hard rod. I might actually do it at this end as well. And I've already undone the brake line that's supposed to go up to there. You can see the line hanging down. About to undo this last bolt and drop the rear end out with tail shaft and exhaust and the whole lot. So let's get this thing out. Rear end's out. Just pulling the upper control arms off. That way that I can get these done. I've got to pull these off as well and pull the shocks out. Pull the pump off. Pull the filter off. And then go back and see how the transmission, make sure it's finished dropping all the oil so I can get under it and have a look at what filter it needs. And then sort out the bushings that I have inside and see what needs to go where for the rear end. I just pulled the fuel filter out and holy crap was there a lot of shit that came out of it. I'll show you, it's up in that McDonald's cup up there. But yeah, I'll show you when I get back out of there, but it was absolutely disgusting. It was thick. It was almost like mud was literally coming out of it, but I think it was just rust. Right, so that's absolutely everything out of here now. I even got the outside tank pump there pulled off, the whole hanger and everything, because I'm running a VP pump, which means I don't need to use that one, and it's got the fuel pressure regulator on the rail for the return. So yeah, now I'm just going to go up there, check out that filter, and then I'm going to be checking out the bushings. So that's the colour of the fuel. It might be a bit hard to see, but let's see if I can. Oh yeah, you can see all that was in the filter. How gross is that? It was all in the filter. But yeah, so got everything out. I checked out the trans filter. I've got one that I'm going to get offline. That's pretty much everything for the day on this thing. There's a tail shaft and I've got the exhaust sitting there. I've got to pack that away, and I'm thinking I'm going to clean all this up, spray it black so it looks all brand new, put it back in after I get all the bushings done. Shocks aren't too bad either. They're both kind of spring themselves up. I'll be up for new ones, but they'll be good for now. Yeah, just got to go in and check out this box. See here with all the bushes. So I'm just gonna have a look through there, see what I can find that goes with the rear, and go from there really. Probably go tomorrow and see how much it's going to cost to get all these pressed. And that's about it for today, guys. Alrighty, well, catch us tomorrow.